Hi, this is Miss Fizone, and this is Pre-Calculus, October 3rd's lesson, Finding All Roots of a Polynomial. All right, so let's start with the rational zero theorem. What is the rational zero theorem? If you have a polynomial of this form, so this is just an example. If you have a polynomial 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, no x, and these are the coefficients, a, b, c, d. I think this was supposed to be e dot 2. And f, all zeros are multiples of f over a. So if you take that last one without the x, divide it by the coefficient of the highest power, a, all the zeros are going to be multiples of that number. So all the factors of f over a. Okay, I know this is confusing. I do this so that in college, if you see stuff like this, you're not completely overwhelmed. That professors like to write out theorems for you. Okay, so just write it down and then I'll explain it. So here are two examples that can be helpful. What are the possible zeros of the following? We're not going to find them. All right, so using that theorem, we take the very last term, that 12, and we divide by the coefficient of the number of the highest, the coefficient of the degree, right? 3 is the degree, so divide by 2, and you get 6. So all the possible zeros are factors of 6 or multiples of 6. So what numbers divide into 6? Well, you have 1, 2, 3, and 6. Now, a lot of students just stop there, but there's actually 4 more. We're talking about, this is pre-calculus, not calculus. Now, I don't want any fractions, no 1/2. That would be horrifying. But what other number other than those 4? I'll give you a hint, there's 4 more. So if 1 goes into 6, negative 1 goes into 6. So we have those 4 plus their negatives. So negative 2, negative 3, and negative 6. So these are all the possible roots. Okay? Those are all the possible roots or zeros. Right? Take 12 divided by 2. Write down everything that divides into 6. Okay, so try B on your own. Pause the video and try it on your own. All right, so this time we have 8 divided by, there's nothing in front, so it's 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 8 divided by 1 is 8. So all the factors of 8. So 1, 2, 4, and 8. Now, I'm super lazy. Mathematicians tend to be lazy. So instead of just rewriting all of them, what we like to do is write just plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4, and plus or minus 8. So again, there's 8 options for this. All right? So now we're going to use this to actually find roots. Okay? So let's look at our first example. All right. So x to the third minus 7x plus 6. So we want to find all the roots now. We're not just going to say the possibilities. We're going to find all of them. So can you factor this? X cubed minus 7x plus 6? We have no method of factoring this. So basically, if you can't factor something, if there's no method for it, we have to use guess and check. So what we're going to do, let's write down all the possible roots. Let's write down the possible roots first. So my possible roots are 6 over 1 is 6. So all the multiples of 6. Okay? So plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and plus and minus 6. Okay, so we have 8 options. So what we're going to do is we want to figure out which one of those are roots. So if those are the roots, then we also know the factors. What are factors of that polynomial? Well, remember, if you have, let me show you an example. Okay. Oops, not a. If I gave you p of x equals x minus 3, x plus 2, x plus 5. If that's the polynomial factored, what are the roots? Don't you just switch the sign? X equals 3, x equals negative 2, x equals negative 5. So basically what we're going to do is just go backwards, okay? X equals 3, x minus 2, x minus equals negative 5. We're going reverse order. Instead of taking this and going this way, we're going to go backwards. So if the root could be 1, then the factor would be x plus or minus 1. x plus or minus 2, x plus or minus 3, and x plus or minus 6. So those are the options for the factors. Okay, those are the options for the factors if those are the roots. So we want to know, does x plus 1 or x minus 1 go into this polynomial? So go into, what does that mean to you? Hopefully that means division. Can I divide x cubed minus 7x plus 6 by x plus 1? Can I divide it by x minus 1? Can I divide it by, and so on? So how do we divide a polynomial by a factor? What did we learn? We learned 2 ways to do that. We learned long division or synthetic. Which one's easier? Synthetic. So we're going to basically do guess and check with synthetic division. Okay? So I'm going to do this on a separate piece of paper because we don't have a lot of room. All right, so let me zoom out. All right, so I have x cubed minus 7x plus 6. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? All right, so we're going to do synthetic division. What are my coefficients? 1, negative 7? No, remember, you're skipping x squared, so we need a 0 in there. Negative 7 and 6. All right. And then we're going to put one of these numbers on the outside. I start with 1. You don't have to start with 1. I like to start with 1, work my way up. Right? So I'm going to put a 1 on the outside. All right. So just quick synthetic division. We bring the 1 down. Remember, multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. Combine together. 1 times 1 is 1. Negative 6. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. 0. So this has no remainder. We are super excited. That's the answer. This is a